What's up, everybody? We are live on the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope this video finds you all in good spirits. Second live stream of the channel. First live stream of the NBA season. Wanting to do one of these. Wanted to try it to get one in on opening night, but just too much going on. We actually did a nice little channel in the Discord, just voice channel in the Discord, and we were just chopping it up and watching the games together. So definitely want to keep doing live streams for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it definitely challenges me, get out of my comfort zone. When you do recorded videos, you kind of get into a habit and a routine. It's just easy to just like go on like autopilot or cruise control. You do it live, you got to be a little bit more on your toes, but just a different challenge altogether. So the other reason I want to do live streams more is I want to find the best value in real time on Prizepicks. So comment was left on previous video about me doing these videos the night before because of the notification settings, or maybe they didn't get the video in time and the timing was bad. The problem with doing the video the night before is the board is not fully built out. So you're working with a really limited board, trying to create content around those picks that are the props that are available. It's hard. However, the challenge you face if you do it the day of, line bumps, line removal, all that sort of thing, right? Once people start clicking on a certain prop, lines start moving. So by the time I'm done recording the video, uploading it to the channel, like an hour and a half has passed by. And by then the board looks completely different. So I think the way to get around all that is to go live stream. That way we beat the bumps. We talk about shit in real time, and we have a little fun. So here's what we're going to cover in today's video. We're going to go over our picks from yesterday. We got 4 of them to cover very quickly. And then we're going to dive into the Prizepicks board. I got a couple of plays that I am already eyeing. I have not made a decision yet. We got a promo for Zion to look at, dig into. But I tell you what, if you want me to dig into a player prop, if you got somebody that you're eyeing, leave me a comment. We'll bring up props.cash. We'll look at it together, see if we can find some value today. So before we get started, as always, appreciate you all being here. I won't ask you to sub up just yet because you may not like this video. I tell you what, if you make it to the end of the stream, you're still standing at the end of the stream, I'll ask you to sub up. But I tell you what, give it a chance. If you don't like it, no worries. If you like it, sub up and like the video. So let's go ahead. Let's transition over into our plays from yesterday. We got 4 of them to dig into, starting off with Jason Tatum's blocks. He did not throw a block party at all. No blocks for Jason Tatum. However, he did go over his Prizepicks promo. If you took that, it did you well. Derek White did go over 3-point prop. Had the best performance out of any Celtic yesterday. So great game for him. Dennis Schröder did not hit his prop, and they lost to the Bulls. They lost to DeMar DeRozan because he was the only Bull yesterday playing worth a damn. Gordon Hayward goes over 9 rebounds and assists. This line did get bumped from 8.5 to 9. We talked about it. However, didn't really matter because he crushed it. No sweat at all for Gordon Hayward. So if you played that prop, you won that prop. I believe it was at 8.5 on Underdog. Comment was left yesterday saying they got it at 8.5 on Underdog. I mean, great value. And the way he played yesterday, that prop could have been at 10 and we still would have hit the over on it. So 2-2 with our plays yesterday. I'm personally not happy with that. I'd never like to take more than 1 loss on any given night. If I give out 4 plays, I want to go 3-1, 4-0. If I give out 3 plays, 2-1, 3-0, that sort of thing. However, what I want and what happens isn't always the same thing. So we move on to a new day with new player props to dig into. With that being said, we're going to transition over to the Prizepicks dashboard and see what they got going on for us today. Because, like I mentioned, there are a couple plays that I already have my eyes on. However, we do have a Zion promo to look into. And again, leave me comments if you want me to check out a player, if you have your eyes on somebody You want me to dig into them over on props.cash? I'll be happy to do that. What's up, John Kozar? Says he's getting screwed on underdog. Literally 2 and 3, 3 and 4 on all his last 12 bets. Complete pain. Yeah, man. If you're playing the uninsured, pain in the ass, dude. Like, you got to go perfect for sure. If you're doing the insured, I mean, you're gonna prop at something. But from my experience, the best bets are the 3-pick in uninsured, because it does give a higher payout. It gives you a 6x. And then the if I do 5, I always go insured. Anything over 3, I go insured. It's hard, man. It's hard to get 5 correct. It really is. Even on Prizepicks, I really kind of pump the brakes on doing the 6-pick flex, because, man, that shit's hard to get 6 right, man. I 4 out of 6, 5 out of 6, so I switched it up a little bit, doing a few more 2-pick powers. Even though the probability isn't as high to get those, in my mind, it's just a quicker win to get two right versus 4 or 5 right. And then I've been doing 5 picks instead of 6 picks. Made a big difference yesterday. I was in the green yesterday, so I won't complain about that. All right. You don't want to hear me talking about my Prizepick slips. Let's talk about this board. So prior to the Zion promo, by the way, what do you think about the promo? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I don't know. I'm undecided on it. We'll dig into it on props.cash. We'll see what we can do. Quentin Grimes, fantasy score, Markkanen, over rebounds and assists. Now, I obviously like Markkanen. He is the thumbnail cover for a reason. He's a really good player. I think he's an underrated rebounder, and I think people sleep on his glass cleaning ability. Case in point, yesterday his rebound prop was 8. A lot of books, a lot of reputable optimizers out there had him going under this prop. He finishes with 12 rebounds and 3 assists. That is a 4-to-1 ratio. And for every 4 rebounds he gets, he's dishing out an assist. If that plays true tonight, then he gets us 10 rebounds and assists. We'll dig into this a little bit, though. I like that prop for him. Quentin Grimes. Now, when I initially saw this prop for Quentin Grimes, I thought that is way too low. However, when I looked just lightly, surface level looked at some box scores for the New York Knickerbockers, I realized why it is so low. Not so fast to pull the over on that one. We'll dig into that. And then Zion. So again, we're going to start with those 2 props, and I'll just keep bouncing back and forth. What's up, Sky? Mr. Skywalker in the house. The big dog. The big dog hurt his paw yesterday, man. I did an advanced workout, and my freaking bicep feels like it's like I tore it. I didn't tear it. It's a little extreme. It hurts, man. I couldn't even extend my arm this morning. I felt like, I don't know. I never felt pain like that before. I'm just getting old, trying to do young man workouts and shit. So we're gonna head over to props.cash. All right, we got Grimes fantasy to look at, Markkanen rebounds and assists to look at, and then we'll look at Zion. So we're gonna head over to props.cash, and I already have Grimes pulled up on the screen because I already knew this is where I was gonna. Start. So Quentin Grimes, looking at his fantasy score now, it's set to 13.5. He needs 13.6, not 14, 13.6. He can get 13.6 and go over this. Now, problem with that is, his 2 games so far this season. We can look at the game against Boston, 11 points. He got us 1 rebound, so that's 12.2. Got us 0 assist and contributed 0 in the blocks and steals department. And on top of that, he got us a turnover. So that's like roughly 10 fantasy points right there. He did all that in 25 minutes, 23 minutes on the court. His game against Atlanta, 6 points, 1 rebound, 7.2 fantasy points, 1 assist, 8.7 fantasy points, blocks and steals, none, turnovers, 1. So he had no turnovers against Boston, but still didn't hit his fantasy score. So 2 games, playing under 30 minutes in each game. What stands out to me, though, this is kind of intriguing because if he can hit these shots, he would clear this. He's averaging 5.5 3-point attempts per game. If you did take the over on this one, I would totally understand why, because the upside is there. But the fact that he's roughly averaging 24 minutes per game this season is not good. When he's in the game, he's obviously a volume shooter, but he's not making them, right? So if he's taking 50% here, 9 points, but he does nothing else. 5 shots here, 2 made. He did nothing else. So in order for him to hit fantasy score, if he's going to take 6 threes, he honestly needs to make 4 of them. That's 12 right there. He's going to get you a rebound and an assist. That's kind of what we're looking at. If we get news that somebody sits like Quickly or Dante DiVincenzo or something like that, then yeah, that makes more sense. And speaking of DiVincenzo, he's cutting into Grimes. Grimes is not seeing a lot of playing time right now because of the new faces in New York. So when I saw that 13.5 line, I thought that's low. And then as I looked into this, and then we're looking into it now, not really. So taking the under on this one, honestly, it does make sense. However, paying attention to some of these odds, minus 110 to go over, minus 111 to go under his points is a coin flip. What bothers me is just the fact that he doesn't do a whole lot else. Like, he doesn't contribute rebounds or assists. Looking at these games here, like, these are playoff games. But remember, like, towards the end of the season, the Knicks had a ton of injuries, right? Brunson was out for a long time with that foot. I think Randall sat out some games. And so Grimes benefited from that. Starting off the new year, everyone's healthy. He's kind of just, sitting on the bench right now. So that one stood out to me. And I wanted to share that with y'all because I feel more comfortable taking the under on his fantasy points for sure. Yeah, Josh, it's just like, if Grimes is going to start, or if we knew Grimes was going to get 30 minutes, I mean, he's taking 6 shots in 24 minutes. So like every 4 minutes, he's taking a shot. Like, if he plays 30 minutes, you can add in two extra shots, right? Maybe he grabs an extra board. The turnover really hurts because, like, if he gets you, let's say he's sitting at like 13.8 fantasy points and then turns the ball over, he's at 12.8, and then he just goes and sits down for the rest of the game. Like, you can't really predict how that game is going to flow. So, or you can just stay away from it if you feel like it's too risky. But man, that one, I felt like I want to dig into that with y'all. So what's up, Ollie? I saw a player prop in there. Somebody asked me to look at CJ McCollum, 3.5 rebounds. Jay, I can look at that. I'll look at that. Let me go ahead and just add it to the list here so I don't forget. All right, let's take a look at Lauri Markkanen because I wanted to dig into his rebounds and assists. All right, so Utah, Phoenix. Man, he had a really good game yesterday against the Clips. They had some problems yesterday, the Clippers, starting off the year a little slow. Have yet to click on all sim. A lot of teams, man, like a lot of players right now not looking 100%, right? I feel like maybe a lot of players use the first 2 weeks of the regular season as their preseason. I don't know what the hell they're doing in the off season. But yeah, I've seen some lethargic ass play over the first few games. So Lauri Markkanen, let's look at his rebounds. Let's look at his assists. All right. We'll take a look at a few different things in case you were interested in running his props, like his points, his fantasy, things like that. We can just kind of glance over it. 24.5 point prop over here on props.cash. 109 under, minus 115 to go under. Kind of a coin flip here. I mean, he can finish with 24 and still have a fantastic game. He can finish with 22, 23 and hit his fantasy score. Rebounds now sets at 8.5 over on props.cash, but I honestly haven't looked at just his rebound prop on Prizepicks. I'm on Prizepicks right now. I'm gonna scroll all the way down here and see if he's at 8. Lauri Markkanen is at 8 rebounds on Prizepicks. So the books have this at 8.5. He's at 8, which will bring these odds down, change them up a little bit. So again, he's propped at 8. He's been propped at 8 before. He goes over a lot. Assist now, for a big man, he's pretty active, like dishing out the ball, right? I mean, 3 assists for he's like a center, forward center. I mean, and he's just super athletic. 2 to 3 assists a game is pretty good. I don't know how many you can expect from, somebody who scores as much as he does. Like, he's not really looking to pass the ball, but he will. So look at his rebounds and assists. All right, we're getting this at 9.5 on Prizepicks, 9.5 on the books, minus 131 to go over. Those are really good odds. I see all this green. I know the superstitious thing of if you see 5 greens in a row, then you don't play it. I don't know what the rule is when you factor in there's an off season in between those games. So these are the only 2 games we're looking at. Last 5 games, 2 games, Sacramento, LA, 2 regular season games, crushes his rebounds and assists. I like this prop. Even before just looking at all this information with you all right now, Lauri Markkanen is too good of a rebounder. He's too involved in his offense. His usage rate is very high on his team. And I think a lot of books are just slow to catch up to what he can actually do. So I like that one a lot. I'm not trying to talk anybody into anything. I'm not trying to persuade you or dissuade you. I'm just showing you props that I like. And I will be playing this Lauri Markkanen for sure. All right, let's we want to talk about Zion right now because Zion is not time sensitive. We have 5 hours before this prop is off the board, 6 hours, something like that. 4.5, 4 hours and 50 minutes. All right. Jay wanted to look at CJ McCollum's rebounds. Let's look at CJ McCollum's rebounds. 3.5 Pelicans versus the New York Knicks. All right. CJ McCollum. Did you look at any of his other props, Jay? Points, stuff like that? We'll just kind of go through the row here. Rebounds, 3.5. Minus 120 odds to go over. I see why you like this because, I mean, obviously these are from last season, but you can even pull up the last 10 games. He's a good rebounding guard. We get his rebounds like under 4. I think that's a good line. Against the Knicks, 2 games against the Knicks, 5 rebounds, 2 rebounds, literally averaging his prop. That's why it's propped at 3.5. It's pretty simple, right? But we can look at this in a couple of different ways. Like, number one, like CJ McCollum is a good rebounding prop. Number 2, rebounding guard, I should say. Number 2, Zion's still limited, right? He's on a minute restriction right now. At least they say he is. So Zion's not on the floor. That production kind of just gets, it just kind of like works itself around the rest of the players on the team. So I don't know how many rebounds you can say CJ McCollum is going to get when Zion's not on the floor or if he's limited to 30 minutes, but it doesn't hurt if Zion's not on the floor. I think it should help him. And I think that the Knicks, the Knicks are a fine team. I don't want to offend any New York Knicks fans, but it's really too early in the season to say if they're a bad rebounding team, good rebounding team. But like it's juice to the over for a reason here. So 3.5 rebounds right now is his prop. I like it. If these projections mean anything to you, if you, I should have said this at the beginning of the stream, props.cash. I don't really like talking about my sponsors or partners in the video. All that information is in the description if you have any interest in that. But I will bring up props.cash only because I use it so much. In every video, I use props.cash. If you're interested in using props.cash, you can use my promo code thanks and get 25% off your first month. So that's in the video description. But if these projections mean anything to you, props.cash has CJ projected for 4.4 rebounds today. Take these projections with a grain of salt. All right. They're nice to know, but if you just go by projections only all the time, it's not going to work out in the long run because they're not always correct. But in this case, we're going to look at this and say the odds are in CJ's favor. He's a good rebounding guard. Zion may be limited tonight, and projection model has him going over. So, Jay, I think this is a good line to go over on for CJ McCollum. I'm going to head on over to Prizepicks. Let me check out the comment section and see if we got anything. Billy Lopez. Is that Billy from the Discord? Zion over 6.5 rebounds. Thought on Mitchell Robinson's 8 rebounds. For sure. Michael, I'll look up the Mitchell Robinson rebound prop. Let me go ahead and find them. Should be near the top. There you go. All right. This isn't a like a strategy or anything, but anytime I see flat numbers like this, they're always very intriguing because you get the push potential. We talk about the push potential being it's okay, right? Like you don't want to push all your plays, but if you play in a flex and you get one push, it doesn't kill your lineup. So very easy to take the over on flat numbers like 8.0, but let's let props.cash help us out here. So pulling up Mitchell Robinson's line here. So I like things. What I see when I pull this up, Mitchell Robinson is propped at 8.5 on the books, right? At 8.5, he's favored to go over -106. But this line is set to 8 on Prizepicks, so it's lower. Now, I wish, and maybe I will send props.cash an email. When you adjust these arrows down here, when you toggle the lines, I wish the odds would adjust as well to show you what the new juice is. But if he's at -106 to go over 8.5, meaning the book see him getting 9, according to that number, at 8, you have to like it, right? Because it's 0.5 less than the books. The odds will go up. Let's say it's at 110 now to go over. And again, you get that push potential at 8. But 13 rebounds in his last game versus New Orleans last year, February 25th. Starting off the season, did not have the best of games against Boston, which was a little surprising because I don't know how many of you watched the channel last year, but I'm a Boston Celtics fan, but I am also a player prop fan. So I like attacking the Boston Celtics where they're weak. Where they were weak last year was the paint. And I was very surprised this year when they got rid of Rob Williams and brought in Porzingis, who is a great offensive player. But that defense for the Celtics is going to take a hit without Brogdon in there, without Rob Williams in there. I was very surprised to see Mitchell Robinson only grab 6 boards. Now, I believe he was in foul trouble. But still, 6 is low. Then he comes back and crushes Atlanta with 13 boards. So on the season, he's averaging 9.5 rebounds on the season. So this prop is below his average. You're getting positive odds for the over, and you're getting a discount as well on Prizepicks. So I like it. Michael, if you had any doubts on Mitchell Robinson's rebound prop, I hope that breakdown helped you kind of see some different things. But I think it's a fine play. Let's see. What's up, Donnell? Late Zion discount. I like discounts in general, Donnell, because like it's just gonna increase the odds of the over. However, I think I mentioned this in the Discord, or maybe I mentioned it to somebody. I don't know. But sometimes what a lot of these player prop sites will do is they will create their own lines for a player. They don't have to create they don't have to create a player prop by any like certain rule. Like if they want to prop Zion at 50 PRA tonight, which is stupid, and then say, oh, now we're going to give you a promo, and they drop it down to 30, they might be dropping it down to where it was supposed to be in the first place. So sometimes these player props, these promo props aren't always like as good as you think they are. That's why it's really important to just take a few minutes, dig into the research a little bit before you put your money on that shit. But we're going to dig into Zion. Let's dig into him right now because from what I understand, he's limited on a minute restriction. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that. However, LaMelo Ball is on a minutes restriction, and he has been killing it. Fantasy point wise, assists, points, 3 points made. So sometimes being limited isn't always a bad thing. You would obviously want your players to play full run. But if you're a high usage player, then you're probably going to get yours no matter how many minutes you play, unless it's something stupid like you're only going to play 12 minutes a game. But like Melo playing 30 minutes, LeBron the other night played 32 minutes, did pretty good. So sometimes these, the coach talk, the coach speak isn't always what it is. But I want to dig into this Zion prop. So 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Let's pull up his PRA. So 36.5 is what it's set to. The original line is favored, not really favored. It's kind of a toss-up. So you're getting minus 104 odds over, minus 110 odds under, 36.5, right? So went over this against Philly, or excuse me, no. One game. I'm sorry, I'm already looking at last year. One game to go on. Memphis, 33. Now, this line at 33 gets him over his discounted line. So we're going to bring this down to 31.5. Is it not moving? There we go. All right. So that changes everything. So 33 obviously is more than 31.5. So in order for him to get this, he needs 32 PRA. There is no like 10th of a point with these. So it's just one whole. So 32 PRA. Let's look at these projections as a reference, okay? So props.cash right now has Zion projected for 27 points, 4 assists, and 6 boards. 27 points seems high. Scored 23 in the season opener. Is he capable of that? Yeah, for sure. But 27 points seems a little high. He played 31 minutes in season opener. So we can expect, 32 minutes for Zion. All right. In 31 minutes, he attempted 17 shots and made 9 of them. So pretty efficient day from the field. Look at his rebounds. Propped at 6.5. Actually, there is no projection for him on props.cash yet. So this is void. So again, there's nothing that's popping out in terms of slamming the over on any of his individual props. So PRA probably is the best way to go because, I mean, does he have an assist line on props.cash? Because this one is getting crazy good odds on the over. But his PRA, we're looking at his PRA. Projected for 38 PRA. The Knicks just played the Hawks, right? And the Hawks aren't playing tonight. So I know this is really good live stream, me looking at my phone, but I'm just going to pull up the box score real quick. So looking at the centers, forwards for the Hawks yesterday, Capella, 13, 13, and 2. Okongwu, 6, 2, and 1. Jalen Johnson, 11, 9, and 2. Yeah, I mean, Capella put up 13, 13, and 2 on the Knicks in 28 minutes. They don't play the same position, and that's 28. That's 28 PRA for a very low usage player like Capella. So yeah, I mean, after digging into this and looking at the lines over on props.cash and just kind of getting a better understanding of, you know, what that first game looked like, what the competition is allowing, I like the over on this one. I would feel very comfortable putting that Zion prop in a slip at 31.5. 13% off it's a pretty decent discount, you know. But which probably tells you that it's not too far. All right, the 36.5 that he's propped at originally isn't too far off from where it's supposed to be, right? Like when you see 33, 40% off, I mean, that's a big drop, right? You're probably thinking like, why is it such a big discount? All right. Like if you go to a store and you're looking at, I don't know, jeans or some shit, and they're marked off like 80%, and you're like, what's wrong with these jeans, right? You got to look real close at the jeans and you see that it's missing a zipper or something. You're like, all right. So this prop isn't missing a zipper. I think it's good to go. I think Zion is in play for sure. All right, let's see. Dennis Schröder, 6.5 assists. There's only one Dennis, right? Dennis Smith Jr., right? But they're not playing tonight. So Dennis Schröder over 6.5 assists. Zion will probably get more run if it's a competitive game. Yeah, and also keep in mind, I think a lot of the whole like minute restriction thing is based off like the player's performance, right? Like if a player is playing at a high level without any complications or setbacks, maybe the coaching staff is like more willing to give them an extra minute or two, right? If the game is out of hand kind of thing, you're not going to risk further injury to an already injured player, right? You're going to probably pull them early because you don't see the point in playing. So I guess it depends on the game too. So if it's a good game flow is right, Zion might hit that 33 mark, 34 minutes tonight, which he's definitely a over 1 point per minute fantasy production guy, right? So in that 1 minute, a lot can go down in 1 minute. Just ask Tracy McGrady, 13 points in like 3 seconds. So, all right, we'll look up Dennis Schröder, 6.5 assists. Lopez, Knicks in a back-to-back and on the road. Pelicans had 2 days off and get the home opener today. Both should be good things for Zion and Pelicans. Yeah. And also, now that we're talking about this, who brought up the McCollum? Michael? McCollum and Zion feed very well together, right? Like you take the rebound prop for McCollum and Zion, right? Like if the Pelicans are running, smooth out there, both of those dudes will be in favorable spots to go over, right? So the game environment is super important. That's a good point, Billy. The back-to-backs matter in the NBA and those days off for sure. All right, let me look up this Dennis Schröder assist, 6.5, and then John Collins PRA over. All right. From Damiette Jack. Did I say that correct? Damiette? Damit? Spell it out for me, man. All right. Let's let me hit back over to PropStock or to Prizepicks and Dennis Schröder. Two ends. There you go. 6.5 assists. John Collins. John Collins in a Utah Jazz uniform is weird. Let me take off that Quentin Grimes. It's weird because it's a different city, but like the team colors are the same, right? They both have like black jerseys, or they have like the black alternate jerseys, I guess. So that doesn't look weird, but just him being in Utah to me is like weird. When you see a player on a team for so long, they just look different They just look different when, they're on a different team. I'm still getting used to Porzingis in Boston. That just looks weird. All right, let's talk about Dennis Schroeder, 6.5 assists. Maybe I should have taken his assist yesterday. I mean, I took his points. I thought he was going to get it. Went to overtime. I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Knocked down a 3. Wasn't meant to be. All right, assist. Dennis Schroeder. All right, so this is our first prop that we've looked at that's getting actual favorable odds for the under. Every prop that we've looked at so far has been on the over, right? Kind of like slam that over. Under. All right, but when you see this Dennis, like when you see a line that's favored for the under, like when you see it, don't just take that at face value and say, oh, it's a bad play. Like try to figure out why. Try to figure out why this is being projected on the under, right? Especially when you see 2 games like this for Dennis Schroeder, 7 assists from in Minnesota, 10 assists versus Chicago, 17 assists over his first 2 games of the year. On a new team in a bigger role, the usage is there. He's averaging 8.5 assists in those 2 games. So for some reason, the books are thinking this is going to come back down to earth. Unfortunately, we don't have projections for Dennis Schroeder tonight, so we're not able just to compare. But what else is popping for Dennis? Points look like a toss-up. Rebounds, projecting him for very little rebounds here. PRA. So PRA minus 105 to go under. These odds, even though the juice is slightly on the under, these are slightly better odds than his assist alone. So like yesterday, he did hit his PRA, even though he didn't hit his points prop, thanks to his assist. I mean, double-digit assists will get you there pretty much all the time. But his PRA looks okay. But if you are like really looking at his assist, like unfortunately, there's not a lot to go on. Let's look at what Philly gave up against the Bucks, right? So we do have that game to look at. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull this up. Phillies and Bucks. Now, obviously, the Toronto Raptors are not the Milwaukee Bucks. However, let's find some data. Let's see if we can find something that we can use. So Lillard, 4 assists. I'm just going to look up guards. So Damian Lillard, 4 assists. Chris Middleton, 4 assists. He's not a kind of, I guess you can shoot and guard, small forward. Beasley, 3 assists. Connaughton, 2 assists. Philly didn't really allow a whole lot of assisting. They were too busy getting lit up by Dame. They were too busy checking their watch, finding out it was Dame time all the damn time. So, okay, different environment, different team altogether, I know. But you look at that and say, damn, Philly really, really suppressed that production against the Bucks. What they didn't allow in assists, they made up for in points, right? But could it be that the Bucks really weren't trying to like move the ball around? They weren't trying to be the Globetrotters out there and everybody get the touch. Like when you got 2 superstars on your team that are just dominating the usage, they're shooting the ball, they're picking their shots, and they're going at it, right? So that's how I look at that. So Dennis Schroeder needs 7 assists today to get this over. I always look at these like staircases here because you would think that according to this, he's gone up. I know these are last year, but let's act like it's not. 5, 7, and 10. So 2, 3. Does he get 14 assists in this game? To me, this looks like the top of the staircase, and now it's time to go back down. But how far down? Because even if he does take a drop off and gets you 8 assists, he's over. Even if he does take a drop off and gets you 7 assists, he's over. You just don't want him to take too big of a fall here and get you 5 or 6 assists, because then he goes under. But I'm always questioning when I see the staircase. How far did it come back down? But Me personally, I would look for another assist prop, but if you were hell bent on this one, um, it's very tempting to take the over for sure, just because you got these two games working for you, right? All right. Let's see over in the comments. Rebound props, PJ Tucker for you. No, I haven't looked at PJ Tucker. Oh, John Collins. We gotta look at John Collins, PRA. Damate. I was way off, dude. Sorry about that. I'm the best at ruining people's names. Damate. All right, so we'll look at John Collins, PRA. Tucker rebounds. Tucker's crazy, man, because he doesn't really do anything. But then when you look at the box score, he has like 18 fantasy points. He has like 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 points. But it just I feel like when I watch him play, or whatever team he's on, the Bucks, the Sixers, like whatever team he's on, I just feel like I never see him do anything. And then I look at the box score and I'm like, damn, he did all right. He did a lot. I mean, he's out there for like the whole game, so you would think he'd fall into something. But all right, we'll look at Tucker's. I tell you what, let's look at Tucker's rebounds now, because we're already on the Philly Toronto tab. All right. Rebound prop, 4.5 rebounds. Is it 4.5 on Prizepicks though? Because sometimes props.cash has it. Props.cash doesn't go by Prizepicks prop lines. They go by the book, like whatever's out there. So sometimes you will see a line that's a little off. So, okay, so on Prizepicks, he's at 4. So again, minus 115 on, or excuse me, 115 on the over, minus 120 on the under. We're going to bring this line down to 4 because that's where it is. Now, I don't know what that does to the odds. Like if we bring this down to 4 from 4.5, does it go from minus 120 to go under to minus 110 to go over? You're getting more favorable odds. But I just don't know like how much. So all right, we look at the projections here. If you want to look at these projections, you want to put some weight into these projections. He's projected for 3.97 rebounds today, which is 4 on the dot. If you round up, it's 4 on the dot. 6 points, 1 assist, 6, 7, 11 PRA. So right now he only has a rebound prop. He doesn't have any other props up on Prizepicks. So this is like heavy push potential. He can get it. I mean, what did he play last game? Oh, he only played 26 minutes. He can play more than that, though. All right, so 4 rebounds. Can he get that against Toronto? Let's look at Toronto and Chicago. But now my DraftKings app is not pulling up. No worries. No worries. It's Chicago. Yeah, so yesterday, damn, there are no Chicago lines right now. Some shit's going on in Chicago. My boy Cool Ken, he's in Chicago. Somebody might be sitting out tonight. What if somebody got traded already? There are like no Chicago lines on props.cash. That's weird. So we can't look up Chicago players' production versus Toronto, which is what I was trying to get like a feel for. Like, what did other players do against that defense or offense? So, man, are you hell bent on playing PJ Tucker? As you just saw the four rebound prop and said, man, that's low. He could probably get that. I feel you on that. What we can do is look at what he did against Toronto. Were you looking at his Toronto lines? I don't know if you saw this. 4 games versus Toronto in his career, or recent games here. Gone over 3 times. 4, 5, 6, and 6. So these are all from last season. Different team, right? Different team for sure. Minutes. I would feel much better taking a Tucker rebounding prop if I knew he was going to play upwards of 30 minutes. If I knew he was going to get 28, 29, 30 minutes, yes. But this 25-minute thing here kind of scares me. However, he did play 23 minutes against Toronto and grab 5 boards. Sometimes with these rebounds, it all like matters who's shooting the ball. Are you going to get the lucky bounce, right? Like you don't even have to be in position to get a rebound. Sometimes it just falls into your hands. So how active is he going to be tonight around the glass? I think you could do worse, honestly, than his rebound prop. What you have working in your favor is a discount play on Prizepicks minus 0.5 difference. 3 games of plus him going over this line versus Toronto. And you have a projection that shows him getting you 4. So doesn't show him getting over 4. So maybe a push is in the future here with this rebound prop. So, all right, John Collins, Utah versus Phoenix, PRA. By the way, if you're just joining the live stream, thank you so much for stopping by and just hanging out, talking player props. If you are, if you want me to dig into a particular player prop, drop it in the comments. I'll try to get to it as quickly as I can. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching again on the replay. I appreciate y'all. All right, John Collins, 21.5 PRA. Prizepicks has it set to 21.5. Right. All right. So we're good there. You're not getting a discount on this one. The line is what it is. All right. 2 games versus Phoenix. Now these games were with Atlanta, right? His role was kind of like shitty in Atlanta, right? I felt like he was the stepchild. Like they just left him in the car. They forgot to feed him sometime. They forgot he was upstairs and shit. They left home alone. They home alone his ass a lot. At least that's how I felt John Collins was treated. So I don't want to look at these games and go, man, he sucks against the Phoenix Suns. So we're not going to look at those, but we'll look at the first 5 games so that we can pull up this year. 2 games back to back. All right. Impressive. 28-25. Why is he getting this? Well, what's the difference in Utah? Well, he's seeing 30 plus minutes, right? He's averaging 5 shots. Excuse me. He's averaging 11 field goal attempts and averaging 5 shots made in those 2 games. Minutes look fantastic. Averaging 4 3-pointers, 4 3-point attempts over the first 2 games and making 1 of those. So 25% hit rate there. But these minutes are everything. Minutes are everything, right? If you have a player who's not playing a bunch of minutes, it's very difficult for them to produce from the bench. Unless they're a superstar. We mentioned LaMelo Ball, LeBron James, Zion. Those guys, like a lot of other superstars, can get it done in limited minutes. But for most players, they need their full run. John Collins is doing his thing. Wow. Okay, so this is his 2 games here. Sac, LA. Now playing Phoenix. Phoenix is hurting right now, right? So I know Nurkic is in Phoenix right now. Great rebounder. Going to do a lot of good things in that offense, but you're looking for players that might keep John Collins off the glass. You have Nurkic. You have Drew Eubanks. And that's it, right? I know Durant can grab boards, but Durant's not in the paint, right? He's not playing around the rim like that. So who's stopping John Collins from like crashing? Maybe his own teammate, like maybe Kessler or Lauri Markkanen, they could cannibalize each other. But just from his production alone, like I do like this matchup for him now that we're talking about it. So projection for props.cash has him getting you 17.39 PRA. Like I said, we can take these projections with a grain of salt because sometimes they're not always the most accurate. They're here to give you an idea. They're not here to be perfect. So minus 110 to go over, minus 115 to go under. You're not getting bad odds. You're not getting great odds. They're kind of like right there in the middle. So we look at what we know. We look at 2 games, back-to-back games of 20 plus PRA. We look at a good matchup. I don't want to read too much into these defensive statistics after 2 games, But I understand he's not Anthony Davis, but we just saw Anthony Davis put up a strong-ass game. Dude, Christian Wood, when Christian Wood was in the game, yes, he was going against second unit guys, but he played a lot of that fourth quarter. Christian Wood was very active on the glass, in the paint. You look at things like that. At least I look at things like that and I think, okay, if that guy did that, this guy can have a similar production, right? So I like the over on this one. 21.5 PRA. Individual lines. I don't know if you looked at any of this, but he is favored to go over his points, -123 to go over 12.5. Under on his rebounds, under on his assists. So 140 is a huge drop. So 6 rebounds, -123 to go over his points. Maybe looking at 14. So that's 20 right there. That's 20 rebounds and points, and then assist, maybe 1. So he's really not going to do a whole lot with the assist. So when you look at his PRA, you're really just going to, he has to get this done with points and rebounds, basically. So if he got you 15 points and 7 rebounds, there you go. So I think that's what you maybe ask yourself is, can John Collins get his PRA with just P and R with no A? All right, let's see. Well, we got oh damn. What do you think about John Collins full game or 1/2 PRA? I missed a lot. All right, let's see. Let's see. How far up? Embiid under 10.5. Man, Embiid looked terrible, Luis. That was a man. Second year in a row, he's come in like he just forgot he had a game. Like last year to open the season up, he played himself into shape. I guess it worked out for him. He won the MVP, right? But man, he looked bad. That volleyball pass, what was that shit? That was terrible, man. Let's see. Embiid rebounds. Bane rebounds, and there's a lot. You guys are leaving a lot of props. Let's see. Jalen Duren has been crushing, dude. I don't know if y'all play DFS like DraftKings and stuff like that, but they have him criminally underpriced. I mean, he is producing like an all-star right now. Yes, I know it's just 2 games, but I got him sub like 6K. I think he was sub 5K the first game of the season. It's like crazy. He put up 40 fantasy points. All right, let's see. Bane rebounds and assists under his money, says Nathan. Tell me why, Nathan. I just love digging into stuff like that. Like if you have a take on a player, like leave it in the comment section for sure. Like I'm always down to like pick your brain and just learn. So Nathan says Bane rebounds and assists under. It's a lock. Let's see. Donnell, Denver is expecting snow. I don't think snow hurts the passing game. I don't think it like really hurts the passing game. It's weird like the throw and run on snow, but like those dudes aren't gonna like the equipment manager's on point, right? In the NFL. I think it's like wind and rain that really hinders offensive production. But like we've seen some hella good games from quarterbacks in the snow, like high scoring offenses in the snow. I don't think it necessarily makes it a bad game, but maybe it's a game you look at some of the running backs. I mean, can Russell Wilson throw for 300 yards in the snow? All right, let's see. Embiid under rebounds. Yeah, Luis, I want to look at that rebound prop for Embiid for sure. Just because he just looked like fucking molasses out there. Let's see. So rebounds for Embiid, Karl Anthony Town blocks and steals. Okogie 4.5 rebounds. All right. I'm gonna try to do as many of these player props as possible. All right. All right, so Embiid rebounds. Going back to Philly. 10.5. So kind of a push. Kind of a push here with his rebounds. You're not really getting any like heavy movement on either side. Projection for his rebounds are right under 10, so 9.48. This is closer to 9 than it is 10, so you can round it down to 9. That's how I read these projections. After the point, if that number's over a 5, 5 and under, I'll round it down, but like 6 and up, I'll round it like to the next number. So 27-point projection, 3 assists. That's 3 point. That's 4.5. That's 31.5 plus 11.2, 42.5, roughly 42, 45, 48, 45 fantasy points for Embiid, if you were interested. All right, so rebounds, 10.5 versus Toronto. 3 games versus Toronto. Most recent one was a March game where he pulled down 12. The game before that, he pulled down 11. And the game before that, he pulled down 5. A couple of things here. Number one, Embiid over his last 10. Yeah, these are playoff games. He doesn't always. You would think that he would. You would think he would rebound more than he actually does. When I actually looked at his rebound props, I thought he was averaging like 13 rebounds a game or something like that. And he's not. But when you look at his overall production, like collectively, his rebounds, stocks, his 3-pointers made, all that, he puts up a hell of a good game. So, like, if there was like one line I would target for him, it would be his points. And I know his blocks and steals can sometimes be a little lower. 2.5 is right where it should be. But if we ever got this under 2 or 2 and under, that feels good. Once he gets his feet under, I don't know what he's going through. I don't know if it's MVP hangover, but once he rounds back into shape, his free throws are always going to be a target. He was missing free throws in that game, and that told me he didn't have his legs. Like, he just looked like he was tired. When you don't have your legs, your free throws are flat. Like, your shots are flat, right? So I want to see his ass get into shape before I pick any of his props. But it honestly looks like the under on rebounds is that's kind of where I would go with that one for sure. Karl Anthony Towns. Nope. Karl Anthony Towns, blocks and steals. Let's take a look at that. Ooh, good game, right? Heat and Wolves. Jimmy Butler hates Karl Anthony Towns. Hates a strong word. I don't think he hates him. Strongly dislikes Cat. Called him soft. Called him the 5-letter word for soft. Yeah, that was funny. Not for Anthony Towns. I'm sure he didn't like being called that name, but still makes for good media. All right. 2 games into the season, Karl Anthony Towns has blocked and stolen 2 basketballs and 4 basketballs. 6 total stocks in his first 2 games, so he's averaging 3. Great average. Props.cash has him getting 2.03 steals and blocks. That to me feels sometimes you see projections and you're like, really? How'd you come up with that? Steals and blocks for Anthony Towns always feels good when he's healthy. He's very, very active on the glass, stopping shots. So, all right. So two looks like a good move here. The over on this one does look very strong. Let's take a look at his game. So just one game versus Miami last year. He had 2 of them. Miami is very small up front, right? Bam is great. But isn't he like 6'9", 6'8", something like that? Karl Anthony Towns is 6'10", 6'11", 6'13". He's a big ass dude. So when you have a small front court, though they're active, it does, I think it does favor the taller person if you're looking at a block prop. So that to me looks good. If you're looking to play the over on this one, looks pretty strong. Okogie, Phoenix, and Utah. So Okogie, I think I saw Okogie rebounds. Is he not on here now? So for some reason, Okogie's not listed. Don't know why. He should be. I could try to refresh this page. I don't want it to throw anything off here. Okay, while that page is refreshing, let's see. Butler's ruled out. So Butler, okay, Adam said Butler's ruled out. So Butler probably won't be in his face today. Quickly over 2 rebounds, rebounds for Towns. Hey, Tyler, we did Schröder's assist. Just to like sum it up, the odds were really bad on his over on his assist. They were like minus 130 or something like that to go under. Projections didn't really look all that good either. But we understand like why that looks good, because back-to-back games was basically averaging 9 assists in those games. But we covered that a little earlier. My gosh, Anthony Edwards, 5.5 rebounds without buckets. Let's see. All right, so let me see if Okogie shows after refreshing. Quickly rebounds, and that might do it. That might do it for our first NBA live stream. Thank y'all for joining. If you're watching this on the replay, appreciate you watching it on the replay. All right. Phoenix, that's what I'm looking for. Okogie. There you go. All right. Josh Okogie rebounds. Look at that. Pull right up. Perfect. Minus 125 on the over. Over plus 118. Back-to-back games of 4+. This feels like one of those player props that you don't even have to look and research based off the injury status of the team, right? Like if Book remains out, Beal remains out, Phoenix is just undermanned. And by default, a player will find himself in a really strong fantasy output type of situation. By default, you don't even have to be good. You just have to be on the court. You will get your points. You will get your stocks. You will get your boards and your assists. And Okogie is a good player, but with the amount of minutes he is spending on the court, I mean, 32 minutes in each of the first 2 games. I don't even know what his career average is, but I guarantee you it's not 32 minutes. As long as he's getting 28 to 30 plus minutes, I like, and until the books catch up and start propping him where you think he should be, I like the over on a lot of his props, but and so do the books, right? 4.5 rebounds over there. Yeah. So this one, Okogie looks good, like on everything. Points. I like his fantasy outlook too, because like he is active. Like he can steal, he can block a shot. Like he's not like a stupid basketball player either. Like he doesn't make dumb decisions. Like he just doesn't turn the ball over. Like he's safe in terms of you don't have to worry that if he's over a fantasy score, he's going to turn the ball over 3 times in the next minute, and then you're going to lose that score, right? So Okogie's a solid player, especially in this game, especially if Booker remains out. I don't even know how long he's supposed to be out. I know it's not indefinite, and I'm looking to see if there's any injury report news. He's out. So James Harden, Booker, Beal, Garland, all out today. Doubtful, Jalen McDaniels, questionable. Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, OG Anunoby, and then probable is Zach LaVine. So, yeah, Book's out, Beal's out. Yes, over Josh Okogie's rebounds for sure. For sure. All right. All right. Yeah, you got it, John. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you checking this stream out. All right. Damn. ladies and gentlemen, I think that's gonna do it. First NBA live stream in the books. Listen, I said earlier in the stream, I don't want you to sub to this channel just yet. Well, I don't know if I said that actually, but I was thinking, I don't want you to sub just yet. Watch the stream if you like it. If you make it to the end, you like what you heard, you like what you saw, sub up. If you're subbing up, make sure you like this video. Click that notification bell, get notified of everything that comes out of this channel, inclusive of live streams. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the players we covered in today's video. What you think about the Zion promo. Who do you have your eyes on? And something I don't really ask a lot, but like if you like this channel, if you like this video, share it with a friend. If you think it'll bring some positive vibes to a friend, or if you think they benefit in any sort of way, be sure to share all the above. And lastly, I hope the players that you look at, the players that we covered in today's stream, respect the damn coin. I hope you profit. I hope you profit big time. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you again for stopping by the channel. And until my next NBA player prop stream video, Chavez is